Have you ever felt that your partner just doesn't seem as excited about you as they used to be? You're not alone. Studies show that nearly 60% of couples report feeling less passion in their relationship over time. One reason? Being too available. It sounds odd, but constant availability can actually dull the spark. In fact, research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that relationships thrive on a balance of presence and absence. Couples who create a little distance often feel more connected and appreciated. Surprising, right? This series will dive into why being overly available could be ruining your relationship and how you can turn things around. We'll explore strategies that include adding mystery, maintaining self-priority, and finding the perfect balance between closeness and independence. Are you ready to discover how small changes can lead to a deeper, more fulfilling love? Let's get started. Chapter 1: The Paradox of Presence. Why less is more in love. Being present is essential, but too much of a good thing can lead to an unexpected paradox. The more available we are, the less we may be appreciated. According to relationship expert Esther Perel, desire needs distance. When we're always there, it's easy for our partner to take us for granted, often without even realizing it. Surprisingly, studies show that couples who spend moderate time apart report higher relationship satisfaction. In a study by the National Library of Medicine, couples who maintained a healthy level of independence were 22% more likely to stay together than those who felt fused with each other. It's not about ignoring your partner but giving them, and yourself, room to miss each other. A simple way to practice this? Set aside dedicated times for yourself. Maybe it's a solo walk in the evening, a yoga class, or a hobby you love. This isn't selfish, it actually boosts the relationship. Studies suggest that couples who nurture their own interests also report stronger connections. When you return to each other, you bring a fresh perspective, which can keep conversations lively. Another idea is to resist texting all day long. While those constant messages may seem romantic, they often lead to relationship fatigue. According to research by psychologist Dr. Carla Manley, keeping some things unsaid throughout the day creates natural anticipation, keeping both partners engaged. So instead of giving constant updates, save stories for later. This way, your partner actually looks forward to talking at the end of the day. Chapter 2: The Dangers of Over-Accessibility. Are you losing yourself? In relationships, it's easy to lose track of personal goals or hobbies. We want to be supportive, so we adjust our schedules and interests. But when you over-prioritize the relationship, you can start losing parts of yourself. Dr. Sherry Board Carter writes in High Octane Women that women, in particular, tend to merge their interests with their partners, which can lead to identity loss. This doesn't just harm the individual, it impacts the relationship, too. When one partner stops bringing new things to the table, both might start feeling less excited. To keep your identity strong, try scheduling time for yourself each week. Take a class, learn a new skill, or reconnect with old friends. Research from the University of Michigan shows that people who regularly practice self-care hobbies report 28% higher happiness in their relationships. That happiness spills over, creating a more satisfying bond for both partners. Boundaries are another essential component here. Boundaries aren't about shutting your partner out, they're about creating a healthy space that protects both your needs and theirs. For instance, if you love reading, don't give that up for a movie night every time. Let your partner know that this time is important for you. Interestingly, relationship experts say that setting boundaries actually increases respect, as it shows self-respect and a balanced sense of self-worth. If you feel guilty doing this, remember that a little distance actually strengthens relationships. A study in the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that 68% of couples who practiced intentional separation, taking solo time, reported more intimacy after spending some time apart. Chapter 3: The Power of Intentional Absence. How space sparks desire. We're naturally drawn to things that are slightly out of reach, and the same psychology applies to relationships. This is why creating some intentional absence can make all the difference. The goal isn't to play games but to give your partner a chance to miss you. One way to achieve this is to make a routine of doing something you enjoy alone. Maybe you join a weekly book club or a hiking group. This structured absence allows for both personal growth and a healthy break from your partner. A study from the Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin revealed that couples who engage in independent activities experience up to 35% more appreciation for each other than those who don't. Think about it: when you're apart, you have new things to talk about when you're back together. You bring fresh energy and stories to share. According to Dr. Perel, this novelty can actually increase desire, as humans are naturally drawn to what feels new and exciting. A simple but effective tip? Plan a weekend or even a day with friends or family away from your partner. When you come back, both of you will have a fresh appreciation for each other. It also helps to avoid the vacuum effect that can happen when couples spend all their time together. Remember, absence makes the heart grow fonder, but only if it's intentional and healthy. Finally, don't overlook the power of anticipation. Looking forward to seeing someone is half the fun. So when you're apart, try to avoid constant messaging or updates. Let there be silence. Research shows that people who leave gaps in communication report higher satisfaction when they reconnect. Give each other something to look forward to. It's a small change with a big payoff. Chapter 4: The Mystery Effect. How to keep the spark alive by staying a little unpredictable. Predictability might feel safe, but it can lead to boredom in a relationship. Studies have shown that couples who keep some spontaneity in their relationships are happier overall. Dr. Terry Orbuch, author of The Relationship Cure, found that novelty and unpredictability bring excitement to long-term relationships. To add a little mystery, you don't need to play games. Just introduce small, positive surprises. For example, plan an unexpected date, leave a thoughtful note, or try a new hobby together. According to a study by the National Marriage Project, couples who engaged in new activities reported feeling closer, with 70% saying they felt more in love. Changing up routines can also help. Maybe instead of your usual Friday night routine, take a mini road trip or check out a local event. Dr. Arthur Aaron's research on novelty in relationships found that couples who experience even slight changes in their routine feel a renewed sense of attraction. It's a simple way to keep things interesting. And remember, a little mystery isn't about being secretive, it's about staying fresh and creating a feeling of curiosity. When your partner feels like they can't predict your every move, it adds a natural element of excitement. Psychologist Dr. Robert Sternberg explains that intimacy and mystery are complementary, and a good relationship needs a blend of both. Chapter 5: From Too Nice to Respected, The Hidden Value of Self-Priority. It's common to believe that being selfless will make your partner love you more. But constantly putting yourself last can actually lead to less respect and more emotional burnout. Dr. Aziz Ghazipura, in his book Not Nice, argues that people who focus on people-pleasing often struggle with resentment, which can hurt relationships over time. One of the most powerful ways to gain respect in a relationship is to prioritize yourself now and then. This doesn't mean neglecting your partner, it means valuing your own needs, too. When you show that you respect yourself, others tend to respect you as well. In fact, a study in the Journal of Family Psychology found that individuals with a strong sense of self-worth were more likely to be in fulfilling, long-term relationships. To start, be clear about what's important to you. If you've always wanted to take a cooking class, do it, even if it doesn't interest your partner. When you make time for things that matter to you, you'll feel happier and more energized, which naturally benefits the relationship. Research also shows that partners find each other more attractive when they each have their own passions and goals. Another key to self-priority is knowing when to say no. If you're exhausted, it's okay to skip a night out. If you're not in the mood for something, communicate that openly. Saying no can be hard, but psychologist Dr. Henry Cloud, author of Boundaries, notes that healthy boundaries lead to more satisfying relationships. Couples with clear boundaries report feeling more fulfilled and understood.